Hey everybody, it's the Rock Queen Ariel Epstein. Happy Thursday. I hope you guys are having a profitable day so far. I'll be honest, I haven't even been checking anything in Major League Baseball yet, which is what I'm going to do live here on the show because we had a lot of day baseball. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 day games, and then we have one night game. So we'll take a live look at how everything's going down. I know that you guys we have an earlier show today, so appreciate anybody who is here. Later in the show, actually in the next 5 minutes, we're going to be joined by the loud, the one, the only Coach James Young. We're going to talk about the NBA draft last night, any futures in the NBA that potentially we could look at, and of course, the WNBA. We'll have WNBA props. I also have Tom Vecchio coming on, and Tom Vecchio is going to talk some WNBA props as well. Him and Coach actually have some kind of crossover. They both agree on a certain player today, so we should definitely be talking about this one particular player in the WNBA tonight. And then Major League Baseball. I don't have anything for the night game, but I could talk about some players that do have good numbers in the Mets-Braves game. Tom Vecchio does have a prop, though, for tonight in Major League Baseball. There's really not – I literally almost didn't have a show today because I was all the baseball games pretty much started. I made a big mistake last night, which is why I have this ginormous vanilla latte. Last night, I got invited to a dinner with the WBC. Here's Nutty. WBC Team Israel. Some of the organizers of it and they're raising money for the team and helping bring awareness. So I got invited to this dinner last night. It was a great steak dinner. This place is awesome, by the way. Old Homestead Steakhouse. It's downtown in Chelsea in New York City. Highly, highly recommend it. The wine was great to the point that the sommelier brought us. So I was at the bar with Cody Decker, and we got ourselves a drink, not realizing that there were all these people that were already sitting at the table. Cody and I are like, oh, we're 5 minutes early. Let's get a drink. So I get a glass of cab. We sit down at the table. The sommelier brings over white wine, a Sauvignon Blanc, and it was delicious, but I had to try it. So I sit there with a white wine and a red wine in front of me, and this schmucko of me decides to just keep switching back and forth between the red and the white wine. Guess who wasn't really happy this morning? Me. And guess who had to wake up at 5 in the morning with a 4.5-month-old puppy? Me. My eyes are red. So that's why I tweeted out today that I was a little bit, I wouldn't say totally, I've definitely felt worse, but damn guys, that whole don't mix red and white wine thing. Yeah, it's real. It's not a walk of shame, Sean, not a walk of shame. I didn't even upload the graphics yet into the show because I always do everything so freaking last minute. A walk of shame is fine, Sean Michael. It's not a walk of shame. I actually went home and took care of my dog. So I think I did pretty good. We could do a little propaganda right now. It's probably not going to be a full hour show because I don't have any more bets for today. Everything was in the premium newsletter. I really messed up. I should have done this show from noon to 1, but I needed and I wanted Tom Vecchio on the show, and he needed a little bit longer. So we did not do a 1 o'clock show today. I'm going to talk Premier Lacrosse, though, so you guys can get ahead of that for tomorrow. We've got games on the slate tomorrow. Before Tom comes on, we've got 3 minutes, so let's get to propaganda. Lots of day baseball today, so these were the 5 most bet on props according to BetMGM, and we are going to check out which ones may or may not have hit. So the Toronto Blue Jays in action, and you had Kevin Gausman on the mound. That game ended with the Blue Jays winning 6-0, and Kevin Gausman had 6 strikeouts. So congratulations to the public's most bet on prop today. Kevin Gausman went over, which is actually kind of crazy because I did see the line move about 8 cents against him, which isn't enough for me to really care. But when I see Gausman on the road, I usually don't like backing him. He's very scary. Vladdy, did he get hurt? Damn. I didn't even know that. Vladdy got pinch hit for. He was 0 for 1 today. I really need to do a better job of looking at this stuff. I'm sure you guys in the chat are already saying something. Vladimir Guerrero, latest. Yeah, injury scare, hit by a pitch. Oh, that ain't good. And J-Ram. Oh, boy. Brent Rooker was another one today. Brent Rooker and the Athletics ended up getting – the Athletics were shut out by Sean's Tigers 8-0. No bets on Kershaw 8+. I actually mentioned in the newsletter – I'll get to that in a second. Brent Rooker today – he was 0 for 4. So congratulations to the public yet again. Brent Rooker was 0 for 4 today. Pete Crow Armstrong and the Chicago Cubs, they're up 2-0 right now over the St. Louis Cardinals. And Pete Crow Armstrong, the hot hitter, is 0 for 3. Nick Hertz, the next one. Gosh, this is so funny. Nick Hertz. Let's see how he's doing. Oh, because that was the Athletics game. Obviously didn't hit a home run because they were shut out. Nick Kurtz 1 for 4. So out of all the players here, and obviously Vladdy got hurt, but these hitters were like 0 for 3, 0 for 4. Nick Kurtz 1 for 4. So congrats to the public on their hitters props. They didn't hit. You lose. Yeah, I find it pretty interesting. So I was looking through all the K props today, and in the PropQueen.com newsletter this morning, this afternoon, I gave out in this Rockies-Dodgers game, I liked both overs for strikeout props. Kershaw has 3 so far. His strikeout prop was 4.5. And Gomber has 1. His strikeout prop was 2.5. Kershaw still only is at 47 pitches. He needs 2 more strikeouts. He's only given up 2 hits in course today. The crazy part about Kershaw is I actually didn't mind it if we just used his numbers, and obviously the Rockies are averaging close to 7 strikeouts a game against lefties. But Kershaw hasn't gone over 4.5 strikeouts at Coors since 2020. So that's pretty crazy in itself. I don't know where Coach is. Let me text him. Coach, where you at? Okay. Waiting on him. I hope that he might be waiting for me to send him a link, which is my fault. Same link as always. I can resend to you if you need. Other strikeout props that I gave out. So the Dodgers and the Rockies are tied right now at 1. I also gave out. Now I need to go look back. What else did I give out today? Oh, Jansen Junk. Oh, and Tanner Bybee. That was the other one that I left out. He always scares me, Tanner Bybee. Like, you just never know. Hence, the Blue Jays winning 6-0. Bybee with 7 strikeouts, allowed 3 runs, but he still went over. I liked the under, which is unfortunate. So he had 7 against Toronto, who really doesn't strike out that much. But recently, Toronto's striking out. So that was sad. So Bybee under did not cash. We're still waiting on the Dodgers-Rockies game. And then Miami and San Francisco, that game's only in the 2nd inning. I gave out Junk over 3.5, the Giants starter. Oh, and it was Hayden Birdsong. Oh, no, sorry. Miami starter. Duh. I don't know why I said that. Miami starter against the Giants, Jensen Junk. He's gone 1 inning, no strikeouts so far. So we'll continue to monitor those. Can you please give props on soccer, like the World Cup or something? I'll try my best. I'll get Martino back on here and we could talk some soccer. If you guys want FIFA World Cup, that's fine. I can ask. Is there any games in particular that you guys would be like certain days? Like what's a day? You guys know I don't do soccer. So what's a day that we should have Martino come on and talk soccer? FIFA Cup is this weekend. Well, okay. I could see if tomorrow maybe. I forget who else I was. Tomorrow we're having Dream on, so Dream's going to talk some WNBA with us. But Coach has arrived, and we are going to talk NBA draft. We are going to talk NBA futures, and we are going to talk WNBA because I need a little bit, like this coffee's not working, so I figured that Coach could help. Coach, have you ever mixed red and white wine at dinner and then realized, I know I shouldn't do this, but I did it anyway, and I'm not happy?
Listen, Ariel, I'm almost 49 years old, so if I mix any of alcohol too much, I can't function for 48 hours. But yes, I have. But before we begin, I have 2 special guests that want to say hello. You probably not seen them since they were little. There's Juliana. Say hi to Ariel.
Hi.
And then where is Maddie? There's Maddie. Say hi to Ariel.
Oh my gosh, you guys are so beautiful. They've grown up so much.
Yep. They are 10, 12, and 10. Juliana's a little bit of the wilder one. And I said, they're going over to Ariel. And they're like, Daddy, we remember Ariel from the first time you went on there. So they wanted to come on and say, well, okay, listen, Dad's got to work for like 5 more minutes. All right, let me go do my work.
15. I'm just
15.
kidding.
Okay. All right. Ariel, I am
Do they
all
love basketball
yours.
like you do?
They think Dad's a little crazy about basketball, but they've gotten into it. I'm not gonna lie. Just
What's
like
their favorite sport?
What Ariel? The amazing thing is they are amazing dancers. I am a dance dad, so you will see me with the what's that thing called, Maddie? The caboodle.
A caboodle or a dream duffel?
A dream duffel. The caboodle. I don't know what that is.
Or
A dream duffel. I got to carry the dream duffel bags and load them in the cars. But they're and get a Starbucks. I go on Starbucks and take them to Target, and they got to go.
I'll tell you, I was a gymnast, so on Saturday mornings it was my dad's day because my mom always was working on Saturday. So Dad and my sister and we always spent the days together on Saturday, and he used to take us to the bakery in the morning or right after gymnastics. And it was such a memory that like we went to gymnastics, we went to the bakery, and then we went to Toys R Us and he got us something and didn't tell mom. It was great. Love that time.
Wait, listen, I have them all week because their mom is down with her college friends celebrating her 50th. So I have the kids all week, and it's been like, we went to the Met game on Monday night. I mean, that was torture how hot it was at Citi Field. And then we had those nice little spray fans we left for 2 innings. People took our spray fans. How dare them MFers do that to me? See, I can't even curse because my kids are right here in front of me, Yeah. No, you cannot say it. Do not say it. You cannot say you will get in trouble.
I've heard that the parents that curse, their kids typically don't curse as much as
they definitely don't curse at all. But
they hate it. They're like, oh, my dad does it too much.
All right, you guys, hold on. You guys are being a distraction. You guys got to go. I'm being serious.
This is usually me. Usually Marley's the one distracting.
I know, but I can't even focus. Guys, you got to go. Like, you got to go. Go.
We'll have them on for a segment, and we'll talk about Dad at some point. We'll do a dad roast.
Yeah, you guys will do a dad roast one day, but just not right now. Oh, yeah, of course you love roast.
Tell them to go prepare for it.
Yeah, no, they don't need time to prepare for it. Ariel, don't give them any thoughts. Thank God they didn't hear that. But yeah, I love being a dance dad. Listen, the best bet I can have you is that I try to be the best dad I can. I thoroughly love them, but that's not why you have me for. You want to talk draft? Let's talk draft.
Okay, NBA draft. You were doing it with Sports Grid last night, late into the evening. What was the biggest surprise to you?
What the fuck were the Nets doing? Like, what the fuck were the Nets doing? See, they left the studio so I could curse. I mean, they drafted 3 point guards, right? And Traore and Demon, and then obviously Ben Seraph, the Israeli kid, like, and 3 international guys. Now, Jordan Fernandez is going to want international guys. I get it. And they have a lot of needs. But to me, them drafting 3 of them made no sense. I don't know what Portland was doing, taking Yang Hansen, the 7'2" center, and the 16th pick of the first round. Yang Hansen, I have behind guys like Maxime Renard and Ryan Kalkbrenner that are still on the board. So they could have got him much later on. But it's not only that. Like, you took a 7'2" center after you just took Don McClingan last year from UConn at 7'2", and you still have Robert Williams and DeAndre Ayton on the roster. I don't understand what they were thinking in regards to that. What pick I did like? Yaka Jonas dropping to Miami. I think that's a phenomenal pick. I thought that guy was going in the top 10. I think that's going to be really interesting in that Heat culture because now he's a point guard that's smart, can steady his ship, knock down shots, is capable of. Doesn't have to carry a weight of the world when he's got Tyler Hero, Bam Adebayo, Scary Terry, other guys like that could score the ball. But I definitely like that. I know Sean just mentioned one of the worst trades in NBA history, and I want to address that really quick, Sean, because there's 2 parts to it. Number one, in regards to the trade, they were going to lose C.J. McCollum for nothing, right? Because C.J. McCollum was going to be a free agent at the end of this year. They needed to, and that's why my man ES was right. They can't tank. So they have to go get someone because they got to keep Zion happy. So I don't mind Jordan Poole if he's in the right mindset. And hopefully Willie Green will be a better fit for him than what's going on in Washington. Then you look at the fact of Sadiq Bey is a seasoned pro and you get a middle second round pick, right? Kelly Olynyk wasn't going to be on a team after a year anymore anyway, so I'm okay with it. Now let's get to the draft. Jeremiah Sears is an explosive athletic guard out of Oklahoma that you can plug into the point guard spot and play him with Jordan Poole. I don't like CJ McCollum as a two guard. I like him as a point guard. So you go with Fears, playing him in the backcourt with obviously Jordan Poole. Then in the front court, Trey Murphy III, if he could stay healthy, and Zion, if he could stay healthy, makes sense. Now, to me, I thought that they were going to go with Kaman Malewach out of Duke with that pick at the center position. But they got Derek Queen to slide down to 13. I'm a huge fan of Derek Queen. 6'10", 250, scores inside and out. I'm sure Tom can get to it a little bit as well.
Big LinkedIn guy. Big LinkedIn guy.
Big LinkedIn guy, or I mean, I like the LinkedIn guy. But to me, his ability to score inside and out, I know people look at him as 6'10" as a tweener, but in this modern day of NBA basketball, 6'10", 250 is enough to play inside and out. And that's where the game is headed. There's not a lot of back-to-the-basket that'll be interesting. Obviously, Zion and Willie Green, I think it's a big year for them. Obviously, do also know, folks, they have DeJounte Murray, who is also injured. So let's see when he gets back. So New Orleans should be better. But the thing about New Orleans, guys, is New Orleans has to be healthy. That's the big thing. Because I actually think Willie Green is a damn good coach.
Which team would you say after this draft? I mean, okay, back up. We saw young team OKC win the NBA Finals this year. Something people probably didn't see coming a year ago. Which young team after this draft are you most excited to watch?
Well, I thought Oklahoma City was going to the finals last year. I actually said, well, after they lost last year, I said Boston, OKC in the finals. I said that before the season. I said that right when the playoffs started. Of course, Tatum injury kind of changed a lot of that. You got to be excited about Houston because of the Durant trade.
Yeah.
And I think what
if he stays healthy.
If he stays healthy. And I think what Houston did really smartly is they balanced winning now and winning long term. Here's why. Jalen Green fucking sucked in the playoffs last year. I mean, let's be honest. He had one game, game two, he was on fire. The rest of the series, he was terrible. But if you take Durant, who should sign an extension, now you go Fred VanVleet, right, who just signed 2 years, $50 million. Then you could go Reed Shepherd or Cam Whitmore at the 2. Then in the front court, you have Amen Thompson, who is surging to the point where you can get rid of Dylan Brooks at that point. Durant, Şengün. Then you bring Jabari Smith off the bench. Then you bring Tari Eason, who I think is one of the more underrated players in the league. Then you take the one between Shepherd and Whitmore off the bench. And then sneaky good pick up Steven Adams' 3-year, $39 million deal, Ariel. That team is coming. Their window is now. San Antonio's going to be the one people are going to be interested in because of, obviously, Wemby and getting him healthy. Because I think Wemby, if healthy, is going to be a top 7 player in the world next year. I firmly believe that. I wasn't a big fan. I'm a huge fan of Dylan Harper. I don't know where Dylan Harper fits in with Devin Vassell, with De'Aaron Fox, with Stephon Castle. I don't know how you make all of those things work. Too many guards. Someone has got to go. And then there's Dallas at the top. Cooper Flagg, I call him a better offensive version, at least coming out of college, of Scottie Pippen. Someone gave the crazy comparison is half Scottie Pippen, half Larry Bird. If you get that, Lord have fucking mercy, you may have just drafted one of the 20 to 10 best players in the history of this sport. Because Scottie Pippen, what he could do on the defensive end and as a Robin, and what Larry Bird was able to do in his prime, especially with not just his scoring ability, but his rebounding, but he was one of the best passers. Larry Bird was the kind of guy that, like, he threw it to where you were supposed to go. not where you are. Kind of like throwing like a bomb. Like you just threw it to a spot and it was your fucking job to go get it. Like you got to go get there because I'm throwing it to where you need to be. If you get that, oh my God, with AD, by the way, Anthony Davis, do us a favor, be a fucking center, please. Like we're done with this power forward shit. Stick your ass on a fucking low block. Put him, PJ Washington, Cooper Flag, obviously Klay Thompson at the 2. Get Kyrie back, hopefully. Need a ball handler right now, right? Caleb Martin come off the bench. Daniel Gafford just resigned. Derek Lively coming off the bench. Like Jason Kidd, what I think is one of the top 10 coaches in the NBA. They're going to be intriguing. Just a matter of, Ariel, can they stay healthy long enough?
We always have so much hype going into a number 1 pick. Like every sport, there's always all this hype. The number 1 pick in the draft, he's always like minus 100,000 by draft day. How come we believe Cooper Flag is actually and we saw what he did in college, averaged 19 points a game this year, 7.5 boards, 4.5 assists. But how are we so certain that Cooper Flag is ready for the NBA level to be the star that everyone's hyping him to be?
Because the way Duke used him and played him. It's a chameleon, Ariel. Like he can really fucking do it all. I mean, shoot the 3, off the bounce, fast break, half court deep, put him in the front of a press if you ever press in the NBA, rebound the ball, pass the ball, block shots. Smart kid, mature. So mature, folks, that do know that Cooper Flag, ready, folks? Do you know that he graduated high school 1 year early? Cooper Flag should have been going into next year's NBA draft. He should be going to Duke this year. He transferred out of school in high school in Maine to go to Mount Verdi to go play for Kevin Boyle. Kevin Boyle, folks that know Mount Verdi, Ben Simmons himself, Liam McNeely. You can go look at obviously Kyrie Irving. He had obviously Al Harrington, a bunch of great players when he was at St. Patrick High School here in Elizabeth, New Jersey. Known Coach Boyle for a long time, one of the best to ever do it. But his game is just so amazing to watch. Cooper Flag. I noticed Sean always. I love Sean because Sean's always in the chats. He likes Carter Bryant. I think Carter Bryant is going to be really good when he gets his offensive game figured out. But Lord have mercy, it's perfect for him, right, Sean? Here's why. They have Keldon Johnson there. Give him a year to develop his game, Carter. And then once he does, then you ship Keldon Johnson out where he could have value. And at the end of the day, Carter Bryant and Victor Wembanyama as shot blockers, holy fucking smokes, that's going to be a problem.
We do have to make some money tonight, and that's off the WNBA, which Sean also always asks for. So that's why we love when Coach comes on. You got W action tonight. First, let's start with Lloyd over 1.5 threes. Why?
Well, I think Jewel Lloyd's in a spot where she should be able to get up and over 1.5 made threes. This is a player that has struggled a little bit from the onset of being with the Las Vegas Aces, but now they have obviously Asia Wilson back. So to me, I like her to go over 1.5 made threes. Next, Aaliyah Boston over 23.5 points of rebounds. Remember, no Caitlin Clark tonight. Now, you're looking at me saying, whoa, Coach, you're going 23.5 with Aaliyah Boston, and there's no Caitlin Clark. Like, how does this make sense? Folks, did y'all see what the hell happened that the Los Angeles Sparks, that they lost? Did you see what they lost to? I mean, did we all take a look at that tonight? Our last game? Yeah, that's the Chicago Sky. Coach's favorite team to fade, right? So to me, I like Aaliyah Boston over 23.5. That also means that the Fever are going to win by 6 or more points because I just think that's going to be a high-scoring game. Too many options there for the Fever. And I think the Fever, coming off that trip, they need to get that last win. Remember, Fever on a first leg of a back-to-back. They play tomorrow. I wonder if I know it sounds crazy. I wonder if they rest Paige tonight because you know who she plays tomorrow. That Caitlin Clark plays Paige Beckers tomorrow. So then they rest her tonight to play tomorrow because that's a huge matchup. And if I'm not mistaken, folks, don't quote me. I do believe the Sparks game is not on national TV, but tomorrow versus Paige is on national TV. Just putting it out there, right there. Last one, Kiki Iriafen over 7.5 rebounds. Vegas gives up a ton of rebounds. She also has to keep Asia Wilson off the boards. I already told you guys how I think that Kia Stokes is awful. So she's got a rebound. Give me Kiki Iriafen over 7.5 rebounds tonight.
Fever Wings tomorrow. Fever laying 4. How would you play it if CC is in up against Paige Beckers?
If CC's in, that's going to be more like a 6 or a 7. So to me, that's baked into the fact that right now they don't think she's going to play. I would look at Paige Becker's props. I think Paige is starting to eat a little bit here. I made a declaration that pissed off a lot of people at Sports Grid. So I said that Paige was going to be as good or better than Caitlin Clark, and I have to rephrase how I say this. They're two different players, and how they play. Style of play is different. Paige is the more dynamic player, right? The logo threes, the fancy assists. Paige is just fundamentally sound. And I think when Paige gets it, and think about this, Caitlin Clark secretly had a really good team around her last year. People don't realize. Leah Boston was the number 1 pick. Kelsey Mitchell had scored 17.5 points per game, I think, since 2019 or 2020. Melissa Smith was a capable scorer. Like, it's Paige, Arike, and a bunch of stiffs, right? Although there's Lee Yeru, 6. Look out for this girl, ladies or guys, and ladies, because of course Ariel's here. 6'7" out of China, forced her way out of Seattle. Start looking at Lee props, especially rebounding. What are her last games? I think she got double-digit rebounds. Actually got a double-double for the Dallas Wings.
Coach, before I let you go, Sean Michael keeps asking for a DeWanna Bonner rant.
You know, I have Sean. I have much respect for DeWanna Bonner, number 3 all-time leading scorer. But that's fucking bullshit what she did. That's fucking bullshit. She knew what she was getting herself into. And because she got off to a slow start, and Stephanie White, who deserves some blame for just burying her after like 2 or 3 games, is bitching and moaning and wants her way out of there. Now, I remind you, Lexi Hall went to the starting lineup, and she has been putting in that fucking work. So, DeWanna Bonner, you got not a fucking leg to stand on, because if you get pulled out of the starting lineup and the girl is going in for your spot is eating, you ain't going to take food off her plate. You be a good fucking teammate. You're a veteran. You've been around the block. Now, here's the crazy thing. She wants to go to Atlanta or Phoenix. Atlanta, okay, I can see where she fits in. But people forget, why does she want to go to Phoenix? Her wife is Alyssa Thomas. They played together in Connecticut. She wants to be with her spouse. Just do me a fucking favor. Just come out and say you want to be with your wife. People ain't going to knock you for that. But do it the right way. You're a pro. You're a vet. And you're acting like a damn fool. Now, listen. People are going to pull the race card. I ain't buying it. Because Lexi's been eating. And you wasn't doing shit in the starting lineup. Get healthy. Get your act together. And be the DeWanna Bonner that I know you're capable of. But the way you're going out with Indiana, I ain't buying it.
Coach, you need to be the spokesperson for the WNBA. You bring the heat and you bring attention. I don't watch the WNBA, and you make me watch it because I'm really interested in all the drama. Like, there's a ton of drama out there.
Listen, Ariel, they need it. It's year 26. They've not turned a profit. They need drama. Like that. That's the thing I don't think people realize. Like the whole Caitlin Clark, like Angel Reese shit. Like, come on, man. Like some of that I think that's generated by us, social media and the media. Like we have generated this rivalry, right? But the WNBA needs it. They're eating this up, right? I mean, you listen. God damn it. You don't think the WNBA put fucking the fever in the sky the first week of the season on purpose?
Oh, yeah,
fireworks are going to happen. They need to make money. Listen, Caitlin Clark is their meal ticket. We all know it. But I'm telling you this right now. For a fan base and for a community that the majority of fans that go to the games are white, they need Paige Beckers as well to step up. I think she could be that next person to sell the league, along with Sabrina Nescu, along with Brianna Stewart, along with some of the strong black players that we have, like Alyssa Thomas, like we have in Nafisha Collier and others. And then they're waiting for the next couple of players to come out of college. And they got to need those kids to win. That's the AZ Fuds of UConn. That's the Juju Watkins. Juju get healthy from her ACL tear, right? That's the Hannah Hidalgos. And then there's a kid that was at Notre Dame. They're playing for my good friends at TCU named Olivia Miles. Let me tell you something. If you love flashy point guard play, go wait and watch Olivia Miles this year at TCU.
We love it. I wish I could look at it in the futures, but we're not going to get that action. But we will see some of these star players come up. And the WNBA, honestly, it's a sport that I think NIL has actually helped from the college level because we're bringing a lot of names up to the forefront and they could get paid. So, Coach James Young, thank you.
Real quick, Ariel. I want to say this really quick about the NIL. I want people to understand this. Look at, for example, Olivia Miles. It has been reported, not told to me, but reported. Olivia Miles got $1 million to go to TCU. She would have made $75,000 in the WNBA. The only two players, both Caitlin Clark could have came back for a COVID year, excuse me, and Paige Beckers actually had a COVID year and an injury redshirt. Paige could have came back this coming year for UConn. Because Paige won a national championship, she left. But also remember, folks, Paige and Caitlin both have Nike deals. WNBA needs them.
There you go. I'm telling you, that's how these girls are making money now. And honestly, all the power to them. We've got to make money tonight. Coach James Young gave out all his favorite props for the W tonight. We will see you at some point next week, I'm sure. Enjoy your evening and tell your girls that they got to prepare for the daddy roast.
Thanks, Ariel. Say hi to my man, Tom Vecchio. All right? Take care.
You guys know coming up now, we've got to get some more best bets. We've got one game in Major League Baseball tonight. I don't have action on it, but I know that Tom Vecchio does. We've got the W as well, and him and Coach Young actually agree on one player having a great game tonight. So let's bring him on from over at Sports Grid, my great friend, Tom Vecchio. You know that I did this show later today because of you?
I said I was good after 1.
I know. I was going to do 12 to 1. And then you said you needed a little bit after 1. And I said, you know what? I'll just do 4 o'clock for Tom.
No, I appreciate it. I will say
that I wanted you on.
I'm not going to curse as much as Coach does. We're not allowed to curse.
You don't. I don't think I've ever heard you curse.
Well, most of the times we're doing normal shows on Sports Grid. I
don't think Coach knows I was about to take him on screen right now while he's giving up the middle finger at you.
Listen, I'll see.
Wait. Nope, I'm doing it.
Wait a minute. Tom, wait a minute. Listen, with all the shit that we have to deal with, it's okay. I won't curse on set on Sports Grid.
Well, you'll curse on set. You won't curse on air.
I curse on set all the time during commercial breaks.
We all do. I do too, but I don't curse on air. And I'm saying you got to get it out now.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, listen. At the end of the day, especially when we're on with Kevin, and Ben last night, we don't get enough words in. So I got.
What time did you guys get off of air last night?
11:40.
Oh my God, Tom! Did you? I say, did you hear the crazy story with me last night after I got off air? Did you hear what happened?
No.
Holy shit! I got to tell everybody this. So I take me, I think Ariel, Joe Frizo, right? So I have to take Frizo to Grand Central because he's got to go back to upstate New York and I got to go home.
Okay.
Go to Penn Plaza, get my car, put my stuff in the trunk, close the trunk.
You put your stuff in the trunk. I thought you said you put yourself in the trunk.
Yeah, well, I should have. Shut my trunk, pull off, did not shut the trunk, shattered my whole back windshield. I thought I was shot. And Joe's like, so of course, Friezo's busted. So I'm surprised you didn't get a text message because Kato got a text message like within minutes, him and Ben. But that little shit starter Friezo, he started to start everything. So yeah, so Coach has got to go get himself a rental car. But God damn it, I upgraded to a Wagoneer, so I'm okay for a couple of weeks. I'll see you guys soon.
I'll see you on Saturday.
See you Saturday.
Okay, so yeah, we ended the show at 11:40 last night. I was in my car at like midnight, and I was home at 1:45. So
I'm shocked, and I just spoke with Coach about the draft and looking at some teams in the NBA that could get better. I'm shocked that despite Cooper Flag obviously going 1 to Dallas, that they're still 33-1 to win the NBA Finals.
I mean, that's just a product of the West overall, where Oklahoma City is just like pillar on the mountaintop that you have to take down. The Timberwolves are still very good, despite a bit of a down year for Denver. I think they will right the ship when they have like a coach that isn't fired the last 2 weeks before the playoffs start. There's always going to be Laker and LeBron money there. And then the Rockets jumping up a tier, and then like the potential ceiling for the Spurs. There's so many teams ahead of them. And also people are talking about the Mavs. Like I see all these graphics on Twitter, like, oh, Mavs potential starting 5, Kyrie, Clay, Cooper, Gafford, and AD. It's like, Kyrie's not playing this year. What are we doing? Stop. Everyone putting out these, you're wrong. He's not playing. He has an ACL tear. He's not playing this year. That is their potential starting lineup next season in 2026. Stop. You are wrong. And that's just like me being like I don't know, my pet peeve. It's like that is their potential starting lineup next season, not this year, next year.
Which team, I mean, like this year we just saw OKC do well, Detroit got better. Which young team is going to be the biggest surprise coming up?
I think the Magic, where their odds are way too, like the third best odds to win the East or the fourth best odds. I think that what they did was bring in Bane was great. Like they were dead last in the league in 3-point percentage and threes per game. So like they needed that scoring, but like what they do after that, that's what will validate their odds. I think their odd movement has been terrible. So I like what the Magic have overall because they are a core defensive team, as we have a ton of sirens going by right now. Regardless of that, seeing them improve offensively, that is what we'll see them like. That's how they'll reach their ceiling. So it's not the defense because we know that's like kind of set in stone. It's their offense. And if they can take that, I think that's when they'll compete with the Knicks and or the Cavs.
Let's take a look at your card for tonight. So tonight, you are looking at the WNBA and Leah Boston over 4.5 assists. Coach went the points plus rebounds over. Why are you going assists?
So Caitlin Clark leads the Indiana Fever by assist by like a long shot, but we know she's not playing as Coach talked about. So I like looking to Boston in the sample size that we have in the 5 games when Caitlin Clark didn't play earlier in the season between May 24th and June 14th, if I remember correctly. 4, 8, 4, 5, and 5 in those 5 games. That's the assist that Boston had. So she's right at 4. So yes, this could be a little bit of a sweat if we're getting there. But I like the fact that it's even money. We're not laying juice on a prop that, we have a smaller sample size to draw from. So I like the matchup going up against the Sparks. They have the 3rd worst defensive rating. Also, the Sparks allowing 21.5 assists per game from their opponents. That is also the 3rd worst. So a little bit of a rough stretch for Indiana, not only when Caitlin Clark was out, but also that West Coast road trip. So they just got to pick up some wins, and I think it runs through Boston today, the offense that is.
In baseball, which we haven't really spoken about since the beginning of the show.
Weird slate.
It's a weird slate. I didn't like anything for the Mets Braves tonight. I didn't even love the strikeout props that I mentioned in the K props for the newsletter, but I kind of just was like going for it. And I was like, hey, here's the leans I kind of like, but I hate short slates in Major League Baseball. It's really tough to get a good grasp on, but you do like Griffin Canning and his strikeout prop going under. Why?
Well, I should say I don't like Griffin Canning. He's not a good pitcher. So I like the fact that I can take an under on him at a decent price, and he's going up against a good lineup with the Braves. Now, it's obviously not as hot today as it was the past few days, but Griffin Canning isn't a good pitcher. He just isn't. And I know some of his stats this year are okay. 21% strikeout rate, below the average. 11% walk rate is terrible. He has a 4.04 xFIP. If we look at what he did in LA the first few years, and we draw from his career sample size, he's allowing far fewer home runs this year than he ever has. He's allowing fewer fly balls, fewer hard contact. He's exceeding all of these numbers when he was average to begin with. So he's just barely being better. So I'm not going to bank on a pitcher continuing to exceed all of these marks that he's never proven to do before. So yeah, we look at some of his starts. He's like up at 7 strikeouts, but some of these other starts, he's getting hit around a lot and he's getting to 2 or 3 strikeouts. So give me Canning under. He's not a good pitcher.
I don't mind that. The Mets, the Braves, it's very interesting, their strikeouts. They're not striking out as much as last year, but I could see them potentially going under and raking against him. Canning. There are 3 hitters tonight that stand out to me, and I know you love hitter props. Juan Soto, he's hitting 322 in his career against the Braves, which is actually the highest career OPS against for any player against the Braves in the modern era.
Okay.
And he's also on fire right now. Matt
He is.
Olson hitting 305 with 23 ribbies in his last 26 games, and Ronald Acuna Jr. hitting 411 with 25 runs scored over his last 21 games. How much would you be willing to play any of those players?
I mean, it comes down to their odds. So if it would be, I mean, Soto Acuna just seems like the easy answer. Let's do it real quick. And it depends on what you're talking about. Would it be just batter, just hits?
You like the hits props.
Yeah.
I know that there are people that don't even look at the RBI and runs scored props, but they actually tend to have some value. So I think it's funny that people don't look at them.
So I'm not seeing. The only batter props I'm seeing for this game are home runs. They don't have a full thing listed, at least not on FanDuel. The HRR market is interesting, the hit run RBI. So I would then look to probably Acuna, Riley, and Olsen. If I'm banking on Griffin Canning being bad, then that would happen. Like they could all cash in at least one, which I would like. But if you're going solely just hits, I would say Soto and Acuna is just the easy answer, I think, as long as the odds are viable. Like I don't like going down.
So you only look for the 1+ hit, right? You're parlaying 1+.
Just get me a hit.
Well, Acuna is minus 300, and Soto is minus 195. So if you combine those, it's a minus 105 parlay.
That's good. See that I'm on board with. So we're here Soto at least doing it on DK. Yeah, I see minus 105. Like that's fine to me. So that's where I'll look to, like anything close to even money, anything again, minus 125, I think is still a good spot to play. There have been times that I've liked Kyle Tucker and Bobby Witt together, and it's like minus 130-ish. I'm like, I just like the matchups too much. I'm willing to go with
Neither of these pitchers are that impressive. Grant Holmes going up against Griffin Canning.
Yeah, Grant Holmes has been good as of late, and we saw what he have 12, 13 strikeouts against the Rockies, but
that's the Rockies.
Yeah, like that doesn't impress me. Like, yeah, it's a big number, no doubt. It's a ton of strikeouts, like just where it sits in terms of most strikeouts in a game in Braves history, most strikeouts in a game this season. I understand that is just something to take note of, but it's the Rockies. Like that doesn't impress me. Doing so against bad teams, we have to take that with a grain of salt. We have to put it in the proper context. When he's exceeding his strikeout rate by 15, 20%, that's not sustainable. Combined with the Mets, are they finally turning the corner? We saw they saw some great runs from them last night, and banking on Juan Soto and Ronald Acuna, two of the best hitters in the league at near even money, I think is good.
Right now, you have the Phillies minus 130 to win the division. The Mets plus 105. The Braves at 13-1.
Speaking of the Phillies, did they lose? Yeah, they lost. Awesome.
And the Braves are at plus 285 to make the playoffs, which I think actually has some decent value, Tom.
Yeah, I would say Braves to make the playoffs, not to win the division, to make the playoffs is probably the most interesting. I would say as of now, if I had to put in Cubs win the division, no one else from the NL Central makes it. Dodgers win the division, and then it's Giants, Padres of 2 of the seeds. The third seed would be it's someone in the East, right? So if the Phillies can't continue to keep things together and the Braves surge, there's a path to the Braves making the playoffs.
I think the Braves at plus 285 is great value to make the playoffs. J-Main 34 says Canning under 4.5 Ks with a
Canning's not a good pitcher. He's not. I will die on this hill. Him, Eric Fetty, Tyler Anderson, all these guys they're not good pitchers. Like they are low strikeout pitchers that pitch to contact. And when they induce a lot of ground balls, they can get through 5-6 innings and only give up 1 or 2 runs. But that doesn't mean you're a good pitcher. Like the ball is still in play. Getting outs and not allowing the ball to be in play is like the most important thing for a pitcher. That's why Skubal is amazing. That's why Hunter Brown had an awesome start today. He's amazing.
Well, outside, I'm looking at the strikeout prop spreadsheet on thepropqueen.com, and the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 righties to go up against Atlanta, aside for one. So 7 of the last 8 have had a max of 5. So
Atlanta's also got power, so we have to always also factor that in, where he could just give up 6 runs in 4 innings and get pulled from the game. Like, there are more paths to the under for pitcher strikeouts than there are for an over.
Tom Vecchio, what are you up to these days? What do you have coming up at Sports Grid?
Saturday in studio for Betting Above the Rim. The show tomorrow morning, I'll be talking
Betting Above the Rim. Are you guys doing WNBA then? Since
we're going to do, I think, a recap of the draft, just look ahead to free agency, what teams, and then some WNBA. Show tomorrow morning, I'll touch a little bit on the NHL draft, which is next week. Some shows running throughout the summer, usual stuff. Every Sunday doing baseball, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m.
Everyone make sure to check out Tom Vecchio over at Sports Grid. He's the best. He makes you money. Tom, thanks so much. I'll see you again soon.
Thanks for having me.
I told you guys I don't really have much for Major League Baseball, but we did just put together a Soto Acuna parlay. So at minus 105, you could get both of them to get a hit because they're on absolute fire. Soto, if you missed it, hitting 322, 23 home runs, 56 ribbies in 83 career games against the Braves. That's the highest. He has the highest career OPS against the Braves by any player in modern era. Soto's now hitting 333 with 11 homers in 25 games since May 30th. Acuna is hitting 411 with 25 runs scored over his last 21 games. And Matt Olson's hitting 305 with 23 ribbies in his last 26 games. So those are your 3 hottest players for tonight's game between the Mets and the Braves. We've got Premier Lacrosse. So I'm going to talk a little Premier Lacrosse action. It's a little bit later on tomorrow. The first game tomorrow is Denver Outlaws at California Redwoods. So Denver, 2-1 against the spread against California. The under is hit in 2 of the last 3. It's the first time in 4 meetings that California is favored against Denver, which is interesting. Denver's had their number a little bit. So California favored. Utah Archers at the New York Atlas. Utah has not covered a spread this year, and they've been favored in all of those matches, and they have not covered. 23.5, lowest total in matchup since 2020, the under 6-1. And the 2020 total that was like this low, it still went under. So it's telling you something from this total being 23.5. So the under looks like it should be in play. And the Atlas, 5-2 straight up against Utah, but only 4-3 against the spread. So if you want to pick a winner, I do like the under, though, the most of this because of the numbers since 2020. I wish I had a best bet for you guys. I don't have a royal lock. It's like the first time in history I don't have a royal lock. I will check on the propqueen.com newsletter props that I gave out today because we lost the first one with Tanner Bybee. I just can't bet his unders anymore. I lose it every time. Kershaw went over 4.5 Ks for the first time since 2020 at Coors Field. So we hit over 4.5 Ks if you tailed that in the newsletter. Gomber did not go over, though. He only had 1 strikeout on a 2.5 K prop. Jensen Junk for Miami, he's only got 1 strikeout so far. So that's not very good, but at 66 pitches. But again, congratulations to Clayton Kershaw. Atlanta minus 105 is Shawn Michaels' royal lock. I guess we could just say, like, Ohtani cashed home run plus 130. Yeah, I don't bet those. I said we were going to end the show early because, okay, Ozuna, 2 total bases. Were there any matchups that I liked in that? Yeah, Ozuna is 4 for 5 with 2 home runs against Griffin Canning. Matt Olson does not have good numbers against Griffin Canning. 222, 4 for 18, a double and 2 home runs, 7 strikeouts. Alex Verdugo, 1 for 11 with 2 Ks against Griffin Canning. So those are just some numbers for tonight's only baseball game on the slate. I'm sorry I don't have a best bet. I will tomorrow. We'll be back normal time, 5 to 6 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow. I've just had so much stuff going on this week between my brother's graduation. Yesterday, we were normal time. And then today I have an event for Team Israel for WBC. Represent. So going to be going to Major League Baseball headquarters tonight and listening to some very influential people speak, including Susan Waldman, Yankees announcer, who I'm pumped to see. Who's on tomorrow? We're going to Dream on tomorrow to talk some WNBA, maybe mid-major Matt. I have to finalize with him if he can. If not, I'll find someone else. But maybe I could bring on Martino tomorrow to talk some soccer if that's what you guys want. When's the World Cup? When's the matches start? When do the matches start? You guys tell me in the chat, and then I'll talk to Martino, even though he could tell me. Because again, I don't know anything. I know we've got World Cup. I don't know. You guys tell me. Saturday. Okay. So Saturday. Let's see. I'll see if Matt can come on to talk baseball tomorrow. If not, then I'll talk to Martino and we'll talk soccer. But I definitely have Dream locked in for tomorrow, and he's going to talk to us about the WNBA and give us props. Mark, I know you keep saying Samich. I'm sorry. I keep forgetting about him. I don't know when the ponies are either. I'll ask Samich for the next time that he can come on. He's very busy. He's got kids and he travels a lot. USA plays Saturday. Okay. I'm going to try with Martino. Thank you guys for all the recommendations. I always listen. I always try to get you guys the best possible guests that we could get on the show so they could give you winners in sports that I can't. Wimbledon is also starting, so I'm definitely going to get Pam Maldonado on hopefully next week, and we could talk some Wimbledon action as well. Good luck to all your bets today, tonight. Hopefully we gave you some WNBA winners, some MLB winners. Huge slate of baseball tomorrow. We'll talk some soccer. We'll talk the W. See you guys tomorrow, 5 p.m. Eastern time.